This is a good one. This is from Yasmin. How can I anchor divine energies in crystals, and for how long do they stay inside the crystal?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, anchoring in, we've kind of covered this a couple of times already tonight. It really is just about our intention. We just have to call on whatever energy that we want, whether it's the violet flame or an archangel or whatever, and we just ask for that energy to go into the crystal. And then we ask the crystal to save that energy, to hold that vibration from now onwards, really. We can certainly ask it from now onwards, depending on the circumstances. They may be able to do that indefinitely. They may be able to only hold it for a set amount of time.
Good point. I mean, basically, it all depends on how much you are asking your crystal to hold. Say that you are... I've got kind of two ways that I work with crystals. The first one would be to... if I wanted to basically save myself a little bit of time in the morning, like David was saying earlier on, he programmed my 12 chakra meditation into his pendant, so he could access it whenever he wanted to. Now that program will stay in the crystal indefinitely until it's removed or it's changed or it's erased or it's cleansed, which you would have to do deliberately as keeper of the crystal. Whereas if you are anchoring in energy, say I decided I wanted to anchor in the new highest version of the gold ray of Christ that was coming in, I would do so for my crystal, but it would only hold that field for as long as I was kind of attending to it or asking it to hold that program for, because obviously the gold ray of Christ is a vast cosmic energy. You are anchoring a facet of it into a crystal and asking it to perform a action, a purpose. So it will do that purpose, and unless you keep kind of maybe going back and refreshing it, it might just decide that that's time to stop anchoring it in.
Just back on the how long do energy things, how long can they hold it as well, I was just going to say, in my old flat that I was living in, the energies there were particularly challenging.
They were.
And one of the things I did is I have a very small but very powerful Herkimer diamond, and I asked it to maintain a field around the flat in order to protect us and to try and keep the vibration as high as possible in the home. And I programmed it with a particular set of energies and gave it a particular task that I wanted it to do. And it asked me, in order to maintain that vibration, it asked me to repeat the process twice a day for 21 days. And from that, it would then be able to hold the vibration. It did need topping up every now and then, but, like once a week or something like that. Granted, it was particularly difficult, energetic situation that it was in. It was working hard.
That place, wasn't it?
It was. That place was I lived inside a challenge, shall we say.
Yes.
But the act of repeating that process and ingraining that in for a period of time enabled it to then hold that energy for a much more sustained period on its own.
And it will also probably have indicated the discipline that you needed to be working with it and anchoring it as well. So,
in many ways, that was kind of an exchange. I was creating a contract with that crystal. I was asking it to do a job for me, and that's what it asked of me in return. So,
fair swap.
Yeah, I'd say so. And it was a little trooper, and it did a very good job for us.